Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy, Chris Banz. You already know what it is. Back with another episode of Banz On The Beats. All right. Today we got a good episode for y'all. Let me tell you something. This beat is fire. It's fire. So we gonna jump to it, but first we gotta talk about something. Like on the last episode, I was telling y'all, about the structure, how to break down a beat. We're gonna do the same thing on this beat, this episode. I gotta remember, it's creativity. You are being creative, all right? So no matter what you come up with, it's your own style, it's your own, creative mind frame that you're bringing out into music. So show that creativity, all right? For those who don't know, this channel is about making beats. It's about exploring and peeling the layers back one at a time, making sure you get a deep dive into what your favorite producer may be doing to make their beats, and some of the tricks and tips that you may get. So whether or not you're new, whether or not you're like a moderate beat maker, or you just you've been doing this for a while, I feel like this channel can teach you something. I've been doing this for a long time. I'll get into the history of how I got started and stuff like that later. But again, I'm telling y'all, I know the struggle you may be going through when it come down to like finding new sounds and playing chord progressions. And there's a healthy debate out there between like AI and like all original music. Like, should AI be making that, and like who takes the proceeds from that if AI created it? AI is a thing that's not going away. Me personally, I just wanna, actually play music, but that's just me. And a lot of you said something about samples and stuff like that. Like, I like samples as well. I just think that the industry is oversaturated with samples, so I tend to stay away from samples. I keep my beats all original, whether or not I'm layering them to create new sounds or modulating the sounds that I have to, create something new. But without going into too much, like I said, I'm still gonna deliver the sauce to y'all. So it's your boy, Chris Banz, ready for another episode. Let's go.
KB beats, so quit playing. KB beats, so quit playing.
All right, y'all. Like I was saying, we are geared up to make these beats. All right, what is this episode about? This is an episode about another beat that I made. But the thing is, I like trying to flip it up a little bit. I told you what I like to use in the last episode, but that doesn't mean that's the only thing that I use in every beat that I make. I flip it up a little bit. Let's get right to it. Let's see what we got right here. In this beat, I know it's kind of hard. Every time you make a beat, you gotta like think, damn, where do I get started, or where, like what sound can I make, or where should I pick? And let me tell you something. It's completely, unless you've been doing this for a long time and you know exactly what sound you're looking for, you know exactly where it's at, it's gonna be a trial and error type of thing. So you're gonna go through your beats and you're gonna be like, you're gonna go through some different sounds, you're gonna play around with them a little bit, and then you're gonna land on something, play a little melody. And in the last episode, I didn't really go over how I came up with stuff. I just showed you what I came up with. Coming up with stuff is just your creative mind. But I'm gonna tell you what makes it easier. Learning those chords. Learning those chords make it easier. I don't know the chords like 100%, but I know enough about them to work with them and, like create something from it. And that's exactly what I'm doing, learning more and more every day. So what I am good at is mixing those sounds and knowing what sounds sound good together and making a composite of sounds together that bang. So let me show you what I came up with for this one. We doing E minor right now, and I know it sound like my daughter said, she said it sound like a lullaby, but this song right here, I think when you done hearing the beat in its entirety, you're gonna be like, that's not a lullaby, but it may sound like one. So let's do this. E minor. That's E minor right there. All right. So, I mean, that's pretty basic right there, and it may do the trick. Let me add something else to it. Now, if you look right here, I'm playing that E minor, right? Playing the E minor, but also leading with the E right here. And so it sounds like this. And it just repeat. That's it's like you don't know what that's gonna turn into. But if you just keep working with it, it may turn into something. You may be like, I don't like it, but save it. If you don't like it, move on. But don't delete that. Don't delete your ideas, because sometimes the ideas flow in your head so fast that you just got to get them out. You should always record. Just record. You can always come back and be like, oh yeah, man, I like that now. Because you didn't really like it when you first made it, but now you like it. So my suggestion, and it's a tip, I'm trying to tell you pro tips, is record it. And if you don't like it, record it, store it, but just keep it. All right, so this is how that sound recorded, the exact same way. All right, and then I went on to a sound that didn't necessarily fit right away, but I thought that was a cool sound to work with. You might be like, what is that? That is basically just a percussive hit. It's a percussive hit. Oh, and my bad. The last sound was a stage electric piano that has some vibes to it. It's a percussive hit. It kind of reminds me of that. Like, I can hear it calling in the air night. Probably saying those lyrics wrong, but that's what it reminds me of. But I like it, so I'm gonna use it. And I probably just use it sparingly and moderately, just, because it's just a sound that I think can give an accent to the whole beat. So if I play those two together, like we did on the last one, because that's what I do. We go through each one and we play them as we go on. So this is how that sound. Notice how I put that in there. You hear it? All right. That little part right there is going to give it dynamic feel, because it's like that percussive hit that kind of make you feel like, oh, that sound deep, that sound explosive, not too overpowering, but it does the trick. All right. And believe it or not, that was the second sound I came up with for this beat. Like, I was just messing around with it and it sounded like that. So I just had that little, like, it's like a little explosion. All right. And then I wanted to layer that those vibes in the beginning with the sound. Usually I kind of like layering things like this. I like to hear the piano. That's another one of my favorite instruments. So I use the piano a lot, and it helps me with the tone and the key. So again, this is played in E minor, and I'm gonna play the same keys and make them alter a little bit. So if you remember the beginning, just remember that while I'm playing this, and then I'll play them all together. So I'm gonna use my left hand on E, and then I'm gonna start here on E right here with this chord. Now I could have just played it like this. And then repeat. But I wanted to double it up a little bit to give it some dynamics. So if you listen here, now you see what I did there. I just played a little. I just followed myself with the track. And for everybody out there that know exactly the correct technical term for what I just did, by all means, leave it in the comment. Like I said, I play a lot by ear, and I play a lot by just the experience that I have. I know what feels good. The technicality, I feel like, is important, very important, and very, very worth spending some time to get to know those terms. For the moment, I'm just following the notes that I'm making, and it sounds good this way to me. You hear that? Now, if I put all three of those together, meaning the first track, the second track, and the third track, is gonna be the vibes, the electric piano, the percussion hit, and then this classic grand piano. Y'all hear that? Repeat. Now it sounds like it's doing something. Remember I was telling you, I like to put my beats together with the melody first. Melody first, and then sometimes I go for the bass line right after the melody if I know exactly where I want to take it. If I have no clue where I want to take it and I need to hear the beat and I need to have everything put together first, then I'll drop the drum kicks. All right. So next, like I said, I try to come with the bass line next. And again, with the bass line, you want to make sure that that bass line pierces through, because you don't want it to sound muddy. Typically, your bass kick and your bass line sit in the same frequency. Say it with me. Sit in the same frequency. Sit in the same frequency. So you don't want to, you want to pick quality sounds so it doesn't. So you're gonna have to mix it anyway, but you're gonna have to use your EQ, pull some things to the side, clear up some space, maybe even, parallel compression, and I mean, you want to do some side chaining as well. But bottom line is, you want to start off right. You want to start off with the quality sounds. All right. So again, we are in E. All right. Y'all hear that bass? I like that bass because it sits with the rest of the sounds properly. And then coming up with a bass line. Bass line is very important. So coming up with a different type of bass line every time you make a beat is hard, but at the same time, it's fun. So you can use your creativity to fill it in, but you don't want to do too much, and then you don't want it to, not sound like the sound you're picturing in your head. And don't be afraid to erase a complete bass line. Not erase it. Remember what I was saying, like save your ideas, but make an alternative one just to, test them out. I liken it to, imagine, you writing a paper in school, you got your rough draft. When you have your rough draft, it's not the final copy, it's the rough draft. So think about your music like that, like this sound. Yeah, it's the rough draft. It's a good start. I may take that out, may put something else back in. And essentially, that's how the whole song should be made anyway. Like from the beat process to the production process to the mixing process to the writing process, like All of that is just drafts until you review it multiple times by multiple ears and multiple professionals until you land on something that sound fire, you know? And that's the sauce. Let me let y'all hear it all together. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. All right. Now, as I'm listening to this, and you may be feeling the same thing. For you experienced beat makers, you just like, bruh, that sound like a bridge or something. That don't sound like it's gonna be like the main beat. You're right. It's not. Because sometimes I hear a sound and I put together my bridge. The main beat is in my head, but I kind of picture what it sound like if this was the bridge. So I kind of start off with the bridge. It's crazy, but it kind of help you, because if you have the full melody, like what you just heard, the full melody, that's the melody of this song. But if I break that down and make it simple, then now I have a different beat. Same tempo, different beat, different feel. So let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna just do the bass line first. So the bass line, okay, you remember that. But what if it did this? Playing the same keys, just playing them in a different pattern. So now I could flip up the whole beat. So I just played the electric piano like this. I kind of played it like I played the piano or the classic piano on the bridge part. So starting off with E, I played it like this. Easy as that. All right. Just as easy as that. Just like that. All right. And then I just did some just a percussive hit. Just that's it. I used my left hand to play two notes with essentially with the first and the fifth finger, and then play the chord E minor with the right hand. And then I play the melody as it goes. So that's it. All right. So again, we got our EP, we got our percussive hit, we got the bass line, we got the classic grand piano. It's all playing the same thing, but then when you put it together, it sounds like this. Remember that? Remember that vibe on the EP that I was telling you about? That now you hear it. So what are we missing? Drum program. All right. So let's get that pulled up, and I'm gonna let y'all hear that soloed out so y'all can understand. Every single time you make a drum program, you need to bob your head. Just like that. If you're not bobbing your head to that drum program, it's not rhythmic enough. You need to make it rhythmic, because that's what this music is about, especially in this genre. I mean, any type of genre that you in, you really want to get a rhythm. And that's what music is about. You get the rhythm. All right. So let me solo this out. And then this is the rhythm. That's it. When picking these sounds, you want to make sure that they quality sounds. You don't want to pick subpar sounds, and you don't want to pick a bass kick that is competing for low frequency space with your bass line. So my suggestion to that is find your bass kicks, find them, and then store them separately. Like put them all in like a folder, all of the ones that you like. You know, like this one is a sustained bass kick, 808, 909s. People like 909s as well. You can manipulate those, and you can create your own beat. You can layer your bass kick with different bass kicks, make a new bass kick, name it something different. Whatever you want to do, just make sure that you save it. If you don't save it, then now you don't know where it is, and you'll be looking for it again. So the problem with a lot of people who, like are beginners, they don't have that workflow. You don't have a workflow, or your workflow is slow. You got to create your beats from scratch every single time, instead of having a set of go-to instruments that you can use to quickly put together something. And quite honestly, a lot of this stuff sounds similar, so it wouldn't matter if you had a whole 20 different type of bass kicks or 5. If you want something different, manipulate those 5, put them together, change one to a certain degree, and then save it separately. It's just a modulation of that specific sound, and it'll decrease the timing that you're spending with the music and allow you to put in more time with basically just having fun and creativity. Because there is a technical aspect to using all of this equipment, and then there is the creative aspect. You dampen your creativity trying to get around the stuff that is a little more difficult. All right. Then you spending hours and hours trying to figure out the technical things and not being creative. So it's a give or take. You spend some time learning how to use your equipment and becoming proficient in it, and then the creativity flows. So let's vibe out a little bit. I'm gonna show y'all how it go.
KB beats, so quit playing.
Yeah. I'm gonna let that run again. Yeah. Yeah. See how it break down? Yeah. Yeah. Another Chris Banz exclusive, y'all. Knock your head. Yeah. All right, so man, y'all don't forget to like and subscribe if y'all like that little tutorial on how to make a beat. It's all original, coming from your boy, yours truly, KB Chris Banz. You already know what it is. It's Banz on the Beats. Check me out on the next episode. Leave your comments below. Tell me what you will do with this beat. If you a rapper, tell me how you will hit this beat up. Send me a video. Tell me what let me hear some bars. Let me hear what you got. You got bars? You ain't got no bars. You ain't got no bars. You ain't got no bars. What can you do to this? Let me hear it. All right? Until next time.
KB beats, so quit playing.